In this video, we're going to look at one of my mottos in life, and it acts as a study tip for you, which is systems matter. And I am amazed at how often students will come for extra lessons, and let's just say it's the week before they're writing their maths exam. And they know that they've got questions they wanted to ask you because they have been diligent and they've worked through exam papers, but they've left all their exam papers at home. They brought some stuff to class, but it was actually their science book instead of their maths book. And if they did bring their maths notes, they can't remember exactly where it was. And so for the first 5 minutes of the lesson, you're just watching them frantically page through all their notes, hoping that they didn't leave their calculator in the car and that they did bring the exam questions that they wanted to ask. And so both when you're at home studying and when you're coming for lessons at school or extra lessons, you want to just try and develop as best and as slick systems as possible. This is for the person who loves organization, but it's also for the person who would describe themselves as a bit of a scatterbrain. Reason being is maybe one day you're going to get married and maybe one day you're going to have kids, and you want to have good systems and in the habit of systems so that you don't forget them at school for a week. And so they're just good life skills to have. And so what it would look like for you is, if you know that you've got a lesson, let's just take it from that example. If someone's going to see me for extra lessons later, have a flip file where you've stored all your exam papers from the first exam paper right down to the last exam paper. And anytime you do an exam paper, you just put it in there. I love what I see with some of my students, where if they do have a question, they either fold the page over a little bit or they will put a sticky note. But when they come to their lesson with me, they've got a tiny piece of paper that just says, this was the exact question that I was struggling with, and this was the other question, and maybe even a little note. Ask how I do the gap between graphs or something. And if you can discipline yourself to get into these little systems of where you keep your work, where you keep the questions that you're wanting to ask, it really will set you up for both your maths practicing and your maths exam, but it will also set you up for life and jobs and family and all those kind of things one day. I hope that you found that motto and that study tip of systems mattering helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends.